In the beginning, it was all great fun, very energetic, but it also came as a shock therapy of sorts. So I was a plant ecologist starting with my first professorship. I came from a carefree Max Planck environment, and all of a sudden I had to negotiate with the finance minister and plan a building and recruit people and give press conferences. And as you can imagine, that it wasn't easy. I could survive it because I had really fantastic colleagues, my co-directors and new staff members and everyone, but it was also partly overwhelming. We had a coach, an excellent coach from BMW here in Leipzig, the former head of it, so that helped us through. And if you ask me how that has shaped me, it is mostly about the learnings that I had through this. So I understand and learned much more about the system, about my country, Germany. So if I open the newspaper today, I understand and see more than 10 years ago. Or interactions with people. I've interacted with hundreds, if not thousands, of people. You know, if you were to place them on a map, like, you know, defined by the characters, that cloud of points would grow immensely, would be way more colorful. It would span wider gradients. And if I now, for example, watch a movie or read a novel, I see more and I understand more. And also about myself, you know, if you're in such kind of a leadership position of sorts, you get fully exposed with all your talents, but also with your weaknesses and limitations. It all comes out bright and shiny. So I learned a lot also about myself. I understand myself much better, and I'm really thankful for all of this. If I think back, I remember that I was wearing a lot of different hats. So iDiv director, researcher with a group, a teacher, university senate, leader of the botanical garden, etc., etc. And I really do think that that this was a bit too much. I took it for granted. I thought it had to be that way, but now I know that's not true. So I think less would have been more. And maybe that's also true for iDiv as a whole. Maybe iDiv doesn't have to excel in all possible dimensions, and maybe a bit more focus on the things that we are really good at is maybe a good plan for the next leadership of iDiv. And structurally, more concretely, I think we have started a bit too late to invest in capacity building and the next generation. We had a great graduate school, but I think it would have been good to have more junior groups working towards a tenure track. Something like that would have been good to start earlier. iDiv is that fantastic place, and it also has kept its promise of inspiring the entire research landscape here. So there are so many new collaborative projects starting now that have a very strong iDiv component. For example, I'm really looking forward to interacting with resource economists in the context of this EcoN project that is led by Martin Quast. This is very exciting for me. iDiv supports the research arboretum. I'm really in love with this experimental facility. We planted 100 different tree species 5 times, looking, you know, how they cope with climate change and why that is that they are doing better or worse. And I go there every Sunday already now for a year and do the phenology observation. So I'm really keen on the science that arises from there. And it's also very good to be back in the field, back in the forest. On a private part, the bucket list would certainly contain investing some energy in contributing to something that rescues our democracy. And because it's that time to spend more time with my parents and also try to help them as good as possible. And then do more Music. I think I'm a good guitar player, reasonable singer, but I cannot memorize lyrics very well. So my challenge is to know 20 songs by heart. Huge challenge for me. So wish me luck.